Of course, there are these businesses, people trying to generate money during this time. That's always fun to read about. Here we go. Listen to this. Okay, I know this ain't none of my business. As well, this question is not for my children, but nosy people would like to know. Like, this motherfucker doesn't want to know the answer of this question, but he's now going to say, I'm asking for a friend. That's a new one. That tickles me a lot. Are you having more or less or same amount of sex during quarantine? There's a prediction of a baby boom. I promise you, 9 months from now, there's gonna be lots of babies. What else you gonna do? I mean, can you imagine if you are stuck with a person there's an intimate relationship, but you are stuck with that person because you don't get along. So you have this intimate person that you had sex with, but you're not having sex with because you have whatever the hell it is that you can't share right now, and you're stuck with that person. Versus you are with a person that you dearly love and you dearly enjoy, and of course you're gonna have sex. You're gonna have sex as much as your back allows you to. There's nothing else to do right now. You're gonna have sex, you're gonna eat. I recommend throwing some exercise in there. Don't just of course everybody's into something. I don't know how vigorous you are when you have sex, but I wouldn't necessarily chalk up sex as exercise. My recommendation would be like sex, coffee, go for a run, have a nice breakfast, do something in the house, hang out with the kids, put the kids to nap. Now there's another moment to have sex, and then wake up, you take a nap too, because we want to replenish our immune system. And they do say people who have more sex have stronger immune systems because you're sharing somebody else's immune system as well during intimacy. Who knows? But yeah, I hope you're having lots of sex. Can you imagine doing this by yourself? Then I recommend start a podcast and start talking to something, because you're gonna drive yourself crazy. Well, what else is going on Facebook? Let's see. Let's look at some of the goddesses, because this is when the goddesses are completely shut down. I have like ridiculous amount of friends on Facebook that I don't know who they are. Do I look like a guy who has like 4,000 friends? No, not at all. But all walks of life decide to just ask me to be their friends, and I say yes. Then I watch their lives as they're watching my life, and it's funny to watch the goddesses. The reason I make fun of the goddesses, this is what my description of a goddess is someone who reads their horoscope, someone who believes in the position of the universe and the planets, and in the meantime, they blame their foul attitude on how the moon is lining up with Venus and whatnot. And most of the time, these chicks are alone. And then they bitch and complain about, where's all that good man at that can build shit and build fire and be a father? I'm like, good men are with their good women, lady. They don't want to deal with someone who blames their shitty attitude to planets and how they line up every month. It's the truth. It's my truth. If you don't like it, it's okay. It's okay. But if you're one of those, if you're one of the goddesses and going like, oh my God, how dare you, you don't believe in Venus and all that, the alignment. I don't. I really, really don't. You guys freak out about the full moon. Where I'm from, we write poetry. There's poetry about the full moon. Full moon is a poetic thing. Full moon is a symbol of love, romance. There's so many amazing songs that have been written about the full moon. But you look at the full moon and go, oh, something terrible is going to happen today. Well, hey, have you heard of law of attraction? Your shitty mood attracts shitty things. Your good mood, your good attitude attracts good things. I didn't write the book. I'm just watching it fold out. So, good luck, goddesses. Sitting at home brewing in your own shit. Burn some sage, see how that goes. And people are posting like, oh, this is not like your regular flu, it's bad. Why are people interviewing people who are suffering from coronavirus in the hospital? What's the point? What is the point? The point is to pump more panic in your heart. So you live in stress. The point is that they just want you to stay stressed. The corporate environment has the same mythology. If they keep you under stress, you believe that becomes your norm. And outside of the stress, you start to act weird and you seek stress. So you go back to the place where you get beaten up over and over again. Does that sound familiar to you? Because that sounds just like addiction. Something that makes you feel really good, and then when you don't have it, you feel really, really, really bad, and then you go back to it again to feel good. But you will never, ever feel that good compared to the first time. You're chasing that honeymoon. And same thing goes here. Breaking news. Oh, again, more bullshit about our president. And by the way, when I speak about the president, I will repeat this over and over again. None of this is a reflection to my political view. If it was up to my political view, none of you stand a chance. The political environment, so what we call political, is just series of lies. Series of lies. Everybody's just like fluffing each other so they can maintain their position. How is that any different than the place you work at? Fluff, 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 fluff. Act like something that you're not. You remember that? How you acted like you weren't? You laughed at a shitty joke by the water cooler. Just go because some superior told the joke and told it terribly. Or they try to act like a comedian. And they try to like repeat the joke of the comedian. And you just watch the other 5 fools that surround you go, ha 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 ha. That's so funny, Bob. That's not funny, Bob. That's not funny. You're not funny. Bob, the only reason you're a CEO or you're some series of initials in a company that doesn't even give a shit about you, it's because of your ego. You're a single man without kids and you're a CEO. You're making like ungodly amount of money yearly. What possessed you to do that? Who hurt you when you were little? Think about that. And think about your friends and yourself going ha 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 to Bob's shitty joke. Just so you can maintain your place. See, when we're this close to death, when we're like facing death, all that stuff becomes bullshit. So I'm hoping after this, when this comes and goes, there will be a shift. There will be a change. There will be a change in attitude. I hope so. I hope so. Or else our addiction is so deep that whether things like this happen or not, we're just going to go back to the old habits. The materialistic possession is going to still carry its high value. And how we treat our relationships based on what's in it for me with that attitude. Like, why am I talking to this person? Not talking to this person because this person is human, but talking to this person because I want to take something. Throughout my years of traveling, I've discovered that if I just show up in any country and just take it in, just become a listener, just become a viewer, I ended up having so much, so much more of an authentic experience than if I were to just chase around, was like, what's going on? Where's the cool thing to see? Where's the cool thing to do? I went to Havana to this coming, it's gonna be like 3 summers ago. I went to Havana. I didn't know anything about Havana. I don't speak any Spanish except, hola, buenos dias, gracias, the cordial stuff that I could say thank you, por favor, baño, and I didn't even drink there, so I didn't even have to use my word cerveza while I was there. But I had an amazing time. Locals took me under their wing and showed me places and took me to places that I would never see had I joined some sort of a tour. And I wholeheartedly believe I got that kind of a treatment because I showed up without wanting to take anything away from them. I didn't show up there with the idea of what's in it for me. What's this person gonna do for me? The way I approach that thing is, I'm here without a plan in Havana. This guy said hello to me. I am going to listen to him and see where this is going to take me. And it took me to amazing lifestyle experiences or artistic endeavors and deep conversations, and it was very human. I had a similar experience in New Orleans. First, some Sunday I was there, I went to church in Treme. Not because I needed the service, but I was told that in Treme they have the best gospel choir. And which they did. Amazing. If you hear them, all you would think is, oh my God, why are these people not world famous? The quality of the songs, the hymns, the harmony, the arrangements are so beautiful and so moving. It's a musical heaven. And the service was amazing too. The service was very family oriented, love your neighbor. None of this, oh, Jesus died for your sins type of deal. No guilt trip, nothing gore. It was upbeat. You can do it. Just do it with your community. Trust your neighbor, hold hands with someone. It was trying to tell you that you need people. Don't we all now, huh? We need people. We really recognize it right now. And there I met a gentleman named Aaron, and we said hello to one another. He was selling t-shirts in front of the church. And I wanted to grab a souvenir because the same weekend that we went to church in Treme, it was the Treme Jazz Festival as well. So I got to watch all these people that I've been watching on YouTube, jazz legends of New Orleans, live on the stage for free, eating a hot dog. It was amazing. So Aaron and I got talking too, and he blabbered something in Arabic that was kind of like a salam alaikum, alaikum salam kind of deal. And when I responded to him in an appropriate manner, he was like, how do you know about this thing? I told him, I'm from Turkey, raised with the Islamic culture. And he later told me, like, he converted to Islam when he was 16, and But he was definitely more Muslim than I was. He knew what do you call it, passages from the Quran by heart, and he would just, if we're talking about something, he'll just say, well, this part of the Quran says, he would know it in Arabic and then translate it to me in English. I don't speak Arabic. The languages I understand is Turkish, English, German, and music. So we developed this friendship, and then the following day, he invited us over for breakfast at his house. We met his wife. And then he took us out and about and showed us all those neighborhoods that were affected by the big flood during Katrina. So, and then he took me to the real second line. I smoked weed with Kermit Ruffin, the famous trumpet player, at his barbecue joint. There was no way I could have these experiences had I showed up to New Orleans and go, what's in it for me? Who's going to give it to me? I just made myself available, and then these things happened to me, and I feel blessed. I feel so good about those experiences. And all this comes from your approach to life. If you're approaching every relationship with what's in it for me, what can I sell to this person, then you're not going to go far. I tell you that. You may close some sales, or you may close many sales. Then you're going to sit at home by yourself. Nobody's going to call you for anything except, hey, can you do this for me? Or do you have this for me? How often do you receive phone calls, people asking you, hey, how are you? How are you holding up? If nobody is doing that to you, maybe you should start calling people and start asking them how they are. And watch how your life is gonna change. I promise you. I'm no guru or anything. This whole thing is supposed to be comedy, but comedy comes from the truth. The truth. If you're not paying attention to the truth, then all you're doing is sitting there and writing fart jokes. Fart jokes. I mean, who doesn't like fart jokes, right? And then during fart jokes, you might get some art in there. But if you're not in peace with the truth, all you have is fart jokes. And eventually you're gonna grow out of those fart jokes. But if you're not in peace with your truth, at a certain age, if you're still writing fart jokes, maybe your audience is just gonna stay juvenile too. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're doing this so well. It's possible. It's possible. People call me cocky. People call me conceited. People call me arrogant. It's okay. I've been called worse. I've been called worse. I went to a ski trip in Canada years ago. And we get to the ski resort, and from the ski resort we were going to get a helicopter to this hut, and then for the remaining of the week we were going to do backcountry skiing from this hut, out of this hut, in and out, where we will be catered food, and we're going to have our personal chef in this hut, but it's just remote. And the only way to get there in the thick of the winter was to get there by helicopter. And so we're waiting for the helicopter in this van with basically my peers for that week. People from different corners of the states signed up for this block of backcountry skiing. And as we're waiting in the van, people start to talk about, well, I don't know if I'm going to like the bed I sleep in, or I use a certain pill to make sleep easier for myself. And then somebody said, well, I tried that pill, but it makes me feel groggy the day after. And, you know, people are trying to warm up to one another because we had just met and now we're stuck in this van waiting for the helicopter to show up. And it was foul weather. So we were kind of confined in this van, so we had to talk to one another, right? And I'm listening to people talking, you know, their concerns about being able to sleep and the sleep aids they choose, and knowing myself and knowing that I have a week with these people, I went on the quiet mode. Because as you can tell, I can talk. I can tell you stories till the cows come home. So one of them asked me, Engin, what do you do for sleep? What's your cure? I said, well, you know, the best sleeping device I have ever discovered so far has been earplugs. They're like, earplugs? I'm like, yeah. If I put the earplugs in, it creates this eerie silence. And then in a minute, it just leaves me alone with the voices in my head. And then eventually I fall asleep. The girl who was sitting way up front in the shotgun seat, she goes, what do those voices tell you? And when she asked it to me like that, I couldn't help myself. I said, well, those voices say, Engin, you're a tiger. You're a lion. You can do this. There's no fear for you. And then she goes, oh, I found the arrogant one in the group. You see, 10 minutes into arriving to a place, someone can call you arrogant, and it's possible. It's possible. It's just because you're a bit more comfortable than they are in a tough situation, or in a situation that they doubt. And what they were doubting was how they were going to sleep at these huts. I knew how I was going to sleep. I was going to sleep like a log. Because every day we woke up at like 6:30 in the morning, had breakfast, packed our bags, and we climbed at least 7,000 to 8,000 feet to ski down it. And when by the time you come back to the hut and eat, you're just exhausted. People would offer me drinks and I'm like, I'm okay. I'm going to bed. I didn't even need the earplugs. But as people are trying to predict the future and the anxiety they suffer from, if you appear that you are comfortable because you're present versus carrying an anxiety about the future, you are deemed as arrogant. Well, my friends, if that's the formula, I hope you stay arrogant. I hope you stay chill. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Go out there, exercise, do some push-ups, do some jumping jacks, get that blood flowing, kiss a loved one that's in the house. If you're fortunate to share a house with people, just be as close to them as possible, because we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Let's say this is all over and everything is back to normal, then something else might happen. So make the most out of today. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I love you all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions, you can reach me at bookofengin@gmail.com. You can leave a comment here. I can talk about those things if you like. Subscribe, share it with some like-minded people, or people who don't think the way you do. Maybe different angles show us different views. I hope you enjoyed this view. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.